Football is back. Football is back. Hey, welcome to Easy 3 Sport Production. I'm your host, Suttles, and football is back, baby. Football is back. Week 1, New York Giants, Minnesota Vikings. Let's go through this preview, man. We got to see what the keys to victory is for the Giants. See if the Vikings is a formidable opponent. And I'm just excited, man. I'm just excited. Week 1 of the NFL season is here. It is here. So let's go ahead and get this preview going. So the New York Giants is going to be playing the Minnesota Vikings in New York. So let's go ahead and see what the keys to victory is, what the New York Giants has to do. They got a little new look here. Also, the Minnesota Vikings, they got a new look. And it's not going to be hard. But it's not going to be easy. Because the Vikings are kind of on the same wavelength as us. They're in the same weight class. So this should be a very competitive game. Now, of course, the Vikings have the all-world talent, all-world wide receiver, probably the best in the league right now, is Justin Jefferson. Just got his money, got the highest paid, and he's going to be out there to prove that he is the best wide receiver in the game. But the problem is that you got Sam Darnold at the quarterback position, and we've seen Sam Darnold on the other side of town with the Jets. He didn't do too well with the Panthers, and he was the backup in San Francisco, and now he's here with the Vikings. Really, he should not be playing and or starting. They was hoping that J.J. McCarthy would be the guy after they drafted him, but J.J. McCarthy got injured, so Sam Darnold's going to step in. I don't see Sam Darnold as a threat, in my opinion. I've seen him play with the Jets. I've seen him at his best. I've seen him at his worst, and he is a below-average quarterback. He's prone to make mistakes, especially when the pressure is on. We all remember that Monday night game with he's seeing ghosts. I see ghosts. That's what the New York Giants is going to have to make him do. But we're going to get into the Giants part of this, but I still would just want to go on to the Vikings. And with their run game, they got Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones is a very damn good running back when he is healthy. He just left Green Bay, so he'll be looking to prove something. In their defense, is mid-tier. I mean, the secondary is still there. Harrison Smith is still out there. You know, he's still doing his thing. He has a Hall of Fame career. He's just a little older now, but overall, that defense isn't what it once was. But you can't take them lightly. You cannot take them lightly. And it's going to be a game. Now, when we're looking at what the Giants need to do, first things first. Daniel Jones just spoke about you. You need a revenge tour. You need to prove to everybody that you are not the 32nd best quarterback in this league. When they're ranking rookies and second-year players over you, it's either one, the media really hates you, or two, you're really that bad. And me, honestly, I don't believe that you're really that bad. I've seen every single snap, every single game from Daniel Jones. He's a mid-tier quarterback. He is not the best, but he's not the worst. So he's in the middle. That's what he is. He's just in the middle. And this is the time to come out and to prove to people that, hey, you are an NFL quarterback. You can lead this team. 2 years ago, you took this team to the playoffs, and you demolished this very team, at home in a playoff game and set a record. So this is one of the teams that you usually play good with. Daniel Jones, make smart decisions. Don't have to turn the ball over. I want you to take the risk, though, because you got an all-world talent in Malik Neighbors on the outside. We finally have a number one wide receiver, and I believe that that's going to play a very big part simply because for these last couple years, Darius Slayton, 6th-round draft pick, has been our number one wide receiver. That is not a good look for the wide receiving core. Jalen Hyatt is coming along. Wan'Dale Robinson As you can see, he had a ACL early in his career. This should really be the time that he should be feeling at full peak and looking like the best version of himself, and I believe that he will. We finally got an offensive line. They revamped the offensive line. Now, just a quick note about the Giants is that the Giants are one of the youngest teams in the NFL. They are one of the youngest. They only have 9 players that's over the age of 27. Only 9 that's over the age of 27 or 27. 4 of those guys is on the offensive line. So Joe Shane absolutely said, forget about this for the future offensive line, and we're waiting for them to develop. Forget all that. We're going to go get some proven guys because we need a solid line. And that's what they did this offseason. I absolutely love it. The guys that they picked up in the preseason, they looked like they actually knew what they was doing, knew how to communicate, knew how to pick up stunts. I believe that this offensive line is going to be a mid-level offensive line. And if that is the case, we got something here in New York, because we have been at the bottom of the barrel for the offensive line play for the past decade. We have been 29th, 30th, 31st, 28th. If this offensive line is just 16th, 17th, imagine how much more points this offense will be able to put up. And the elephant in the room, we lost Saquon Barkley. We already knew that he had one foot out the door, but they have definitely got the running back by committee with Singletary, Tyrone Tracy, Eric Gray. I believe that they're going to be a formidable guys to carry the load that one man was doing before, but now it's going to be running back by committee. But for this offense, the offense has to start fast. Jump out to a lead. This is how we're going to have to win. You're going to have to jump out to a lead. Brian Daboll is calling plays now, so he's going to understand how to get Daniel Jones into the rhythm that you need him to get into so that he can see things out there on the field, and he's just an overall better quarterback. But the offense has to jump on them. The offensive line, do your job. The running game, he trusts Singletary. Brian Daboll trusts Singletary, so expect him to get a lot of carries, but also it's gonna be switched up. It's gonna be Eric Gray. It's gonna be Tyrone Tracy. They're gonna do a lot of things. Brian Daboll is not going to be scared to do the exotic plays, but also he's gonna encourage Daniel Jones to go downfield. Malik Neighbors is going to get a touchdown in this game. I can damn near almost guarantee that he's going to get a touchdown, because they're going to call a lot of plays for him, and Brian Daboll is going to encourage Daniel Jones to, hey, let it rip. Go down the field. If you throw some interceptions, that's fine, but you have to let it rip. We have to be able to overcome your turnovers. We cannot be like what we were 2 years ago. If you get one turnover, basically the game is over with. We have to be able to go deep. We have to put some points up on that board, and I believe the offense will. I believe the offense will, but the fact of the matter, they got to jump on Minnesota quick and then let our defense eat. We have a young secondary, which the zone scheme from our new defensive coordinator is going to help, because he's basing his pressure basically off of the front four, which is our strength. We went and got Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau, Dexter Lawrence. This guy Elijah, he's come along from the in the preseason. You're gonna switch out the defensive tackles. You may switch up some ends and everything. You still got Bobby Okereke, still got McFadden. The front seven is our strength of this team, and he's gonna play on that. We have a young secondary. Don't get discouraged if they get burnt. Okay? Don't get discouraged if they get burnt. Don't get discouraged if you see plotting holes because they're playing zone. Just know that it all has a means to an end. They're a young secondary. That's what you got to protect. But the defensive line have to get the pressure. And he's going to be rushing 4. He may bring 5, but his system is based upon dropping 7, rushing 4, getting to the quarterback. And if Brian Burns and Kayvon Thibodeau and Dexter Lawrence can make Sam Darnold see ghosts, oh, we're going to be looking good. We're going to be looking real good. You won't even have to worry about the secondary. And I see that that's a big thing, but because everybody's still thinking that this is Wink Martindale's defense where they're playing man on somebody is very difficult because you got to understand the route combinations and the route patterns and how this wide receiver runs them and things of that nature. When you're in zone, you just have an area that you need to cover. So it's a little bit less complex, but you can still maneuver it. That's how you hide a lot of the deficiencies if you know how to play the zone very well. And if you have a dominant front 4, you won't even have to worry about it because they're going to rush and get enough pressure to make the quarterback make those bad decisions. And Sam Darnold makes a lot of bad decisions, so we won't even have to worry about that. So the keys to the game is 1, Daniel Jones. Hit him early. Put up numbers. Defensive line eat. Offensive line protect. Sounds simple, but that's what we need to do. Let's go ahead. Let's get that dub over Minnesota, and I'll see you for the post game. Suttles out.